Hello, people of the internet. So basically, I got bored today, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could make a power grid system in Minecraft. So I did, and it took like a few hours. Um, I don't know, I was bored. So I based this quote unquote generator system off of another person's video who did this in like one of the earlier versions of Minecraft. Basically, and I don't take credit for this, but I basically you put an item into this barrel and it'll get dropped. It'll just get dispensed. It'll get dropped into this little pit here, and however long it takes for that item to decay, so usually 5 minutes, it'll give access. It'll give an entire city access to a positive redstone signal. So I have here. I'll show you this. So in these houses, I have all these houses linked up to the power grid, and I can go in here, and as long as they're linked up to the power grid, this lever will work correctly, and these lights will turn on and off. If I disconnect them from the power grid, all of the lights will turn off. So if I go back here and I break this redstone, it does it the pistons, which you just heard, and these will no longer turn on and off, which is, it works perfectly. I literally just got this to work, and I was like, hey, let me record this. So, and I can shut down an entire grid area for an entire neighborhood or set of houses, which kills all of the lamps. Turn it back on. It's all back on. And it's all linked to this line of redstone. It might take a minute for it to turn back on, but it's all linked to this line of redstone. And I have 3 different lines of redstone coming off this system. So, to begin explaining myself here, I put an item into this, and it'll lock this hopper. This hopper will stay locked. If there's an item in here, it'll stay locked. This works for any item, by the way, so it doesn't use coal or anything. You just put any item in, and as long as it takes for it to decay, or however many items there are to decay, it'll keep a positive redstone signal. So this hopper is locked. Have whatever items in here, and you would flip this switch right here, and that'll close access to your little barrel. It'll unlock the hopper, and it'll put whatever items are in here into this dropper right here. Then you have a loop signal, and it'll go in here and it'll power the dropper for as long as there's a piston under here, for as long as that block is up. If there's an item being detected within this barrel right here, it'll send a signal down this line of redstone, and it'll disable this redstone torch which keeps this, hold on, I have a lot of stuff around here, which keeps this piston from getting a signal, and this piston is what allows a signal to go to the dropper, so it'll drop items. So if this is off, then there's no signal going to this piston and nothing works. I don't know how else to explain it. So it works weirdly. So if there's an item detected on this pressure plate, it'll only usually allow 1 or 2 items to get dropped by the dropper, which it's not the most efficient, but it works. And it'll detect that, and it'll drop an item, and the moment it hits the pressure plate, it'll send a signal down to this torch, and it'll invert the signal, and then it'll go and it'll power this piston. There's a piston under there with 2 sand blocks on it, so it can just fall back down, and it will not allow the dropper piston to be activated. I don't know how else to explain it. It just works somehow. I don't know. It took me like 4 hours, 5 hours. I've been wasting a lot of time doing this, but, why not? So, I'm going to disable this. That doesn't need to be on at all. So, coming off of this pressure plate is a positive signal, and it runs out here and it splits into 3 different signal areas. 3 different signals. Now I have levers, as you may have seen in the little station over there, that actually correspond to these pistons, these 4 pistons. Deactivating this piston will cut off the power to all 3 lines, and then you can activate and deactivate individual pistons. So the innermost line right here is line green, and then there's the middle one is blue, and the outermost is red. If I come out here and I disable red, it'll turn off red. Same with blue, and same with green. And then I can just turn off all of them. It's pretty cool. This doesn't do anything. I tried making that work earlier. So turn them all back on. It'll send the signal. It's kind of slow because over long distances, redstone, it's kind of slow, but it is what it is. There's always a wait, always a delay. If I have line red on, because I have a door system over here. It's running off of line red, the outermost, and I have an AND gate right here. So if the main power is on and this pressure plate gives off a positive signal, it'll open this door. Same for the other side. And this lamp, these 2 lamps indicate if the main power is on. So I can have that on. I'm really bad at explaining things, but I think it's fun. I think it's cool. See how that light just flickered? That's because the system just looped and just dropped another item in because the old one disappeared. Yeah. So positive signal comes in here. Positive main signal comes in, hits up this redstone torch, and this line, these 2 well, it's basically 2 lines. This one line coming from this pressure plate comes in here, and it hits up this torch right here, and same comes over and joins the line, and it just makes it's an AND gate. Then it inverts the signal, and it allows the door to close if you are on the pressure plate. Now if I turn off the main power, see how the lights will turn off, and it doesn't work. The door's basically locked. It's basically how you could make a locked door too if you really wanted to. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't know. I got bored. Made this. I tried to color code it. This is like just the main cutoff as I explained earlier a few minutes ago, and then all the individual systems. I'll open this up and show you how I did this. Basically, there's a piston here, and if there's a positive signal coming off of the lever, then it'll allow the lever signal to come through and power this on, but this piston is only activated if the main power on the line is on. You can have different power stations throughout cities, and you can link it all up into one system. It could be really awesome, honestly. And yeah, you can shut them off from certain locations. Like I have this particular location where I can just shut off the power to an entire neighborhood, and I can have possibly a second line coming off or following this line. It'd be kind of a waste of redstone, but if you only want to turn off certain houses, you could do that, and it's cool. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Peace out.